Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It's Brandy with the business coming back at y'all with another video. Oh, and this one here, this is heartbreaking to even have to tell y'all about. People are crazy. And it doesn't even matter if you're blood or family these days because these people didn't care. So in Oklahoma, over the weekend, y'all, in Oklahoma, there was two kids. One daughter being 10 years old, one daughter being 17, okay? These two ladies live across the street from each other. They're neighbors. And it's said that the cousins, the 10-year-old and 17-year-old are cousins. It does not say if the mothers are sisters or how they're related, but it does say that the two kids is cousins, okay? So you've got a 10-year-old cousin and a 17-year-old cousin who gets into a fight, y'all. First off, what's a 17-year-old doing fighting with a 10-year-old? But, I think about it, and cousins will be cousins, and you will fight with your smaller cousins. It happens, okay? Well, these two cousins got into it, guys. The 10-year-old, her mother's name is Kayla McNeil. She's 31 years old. The 17-year-old daughter, her mother's name is Vanessa Wade. She's 29 years old. Okay? So, apparently, these two kids had a fight. Well, the mother of the 10-year-old, Miss Kayla McNeil, comes out. She breaks up the fight between the two cousins. She makes her daughter come in the house and sends the other daughter across the street. Sends her home, right? The 17-year-old then goes home. She calls her mom at work. She tells her mom that she just got into a fight with this girl. She needs to come home. So the mom comes home from work. Well, there's witnesses in the neighborhood that stated that the mom that came home from work didn't appear like she wanted to fight, didn't appear that she was in any type of fighting mode. She came home from work and she stepped outside of her house to go check her mail. Upon going out and checking her mail, the 10-year-old's mom, Miss McNeil, comes over and begins punching this woman. They begin fighting. And somehow or another during this fight, Mrs. Kayla McNeil, the 31-year-old, stabs Mrs. Vanessa Wade, 29, stabs her, y'all. This lady's 12-year-old son is outside watching all this. He's screaming. The neighbors are hearing him screaming, "They killed my mama. She killed my mama." The cops are called. Cops show up. Of course, Mrs. Wade is on the ground bleeding profusely. They get her to the hospital and she has passed away. So two cousins, 10 and 17, was fighting, and their moms get into a fight, and the one mom stabs the other mom, kills her. So now you've left that family with no mother. And now Miss McNeil was charged with first-degree murder and has been booked in jail. And I seriously doubt she'll get out. And that 12-year-old boy sat and watched his mama die, bleed to death, over a fight that I'm sure could have been prevented. I mean, what kind of fight could a 10 and 17-year-old, and they're cousins at that, y'all, so it's going to happen. What fight was so awful that you had to stab the neighbor? I mean, what happened to back in the day? You got to fight. You put your dukes up, you fight it out. One against one. That's the fair way to do it. But now, you show up to a match or whatever, and people pull out guns, they pull out knives, and they're there for your life. What could this 10 and 17-year-old has been fighting about that was worth killing somebody? Don't make sense to me. Don't make sense to me, y'all. But I did drop the article on the page if you guys want to go ahead and go read it for yourselves. But what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about this? So now the mom has killed the other mom of the cousin. What a way to rip your family apart. And I still, there couldn't have been nothing that serious between a 10 and 17-year-old that you had to stab the mother. And you killed her. Honey, I hope it was worth it, because you finna spend the rest of your life in prison. Baby, you ain't gonna see your kids. Man, there's some evil people in this world, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Hey, I'm all about sticking up for your kids and all that mess, but I ain't finna stab you. I mean, unless you come at me with something. I mean, we can duke it out like grown people. That's how they did it back in the 80s. But nowadays, people pull weapons, pull guns. I mean, this is awful, y'all. This is awful. Let your girl know what you think. Let me know what you think. Would you stab your neighbor, especially if your kids was cousins, and because your 10-year-old got into a fight with their 17-year-old? I don't know, y'all. Let your girl know. Drop your comments here. Other than that, keep it real and have a nice Monday.